Hello, today we're going to have a look at the recent patch for IL-2 Battle of Stalingrad. This particular patch affects the Battle of Kuban. Patch notes for update 2.008 are on the screen. You can pause to read through them. Otherwise, we're going to move straight on to the three major updates in game. That is the engine change to LA5, the addition of Heinkel 111 H-16, and the Focke-Wulf 190A-5. The first one we'll go on with is the LA5. The LA5 has had an engine upgrade. It is selectable in the hangar as an option for the aircraft or an add-on, as all others are. It is the M82F engine and allows you to run boost mode indefinitely. This means that you can, in theory, providing you can manage your engine, you can run boost mode from the time you start up till the time you shut down. That completes the LA5. We'll now move on to the Heinkel 111 H-16. The Heinkel 111 H-16 essentially is the same airframe as the Heinkel 111 H-6. And for ease, I'll just refer to them as the 16 and the 6 respectively. While the 6 had an extra fuel tank, the 16 no longer has the fuel tank occupying the right side of the bomb bay and is able to utilize that to store up to 16 SC-50 55kg bombs or 4 250kg bombs. The 500kg bombs are still carried external to the bomb bay. However, this means that you can have a 2.5 metric ton bomb housed on the outside of the aircraft while still maintaining a load of 249 kilo SC-250 bombs internal in the right side of the bomb bay. This does, however, mean that 100% fuel on the 6 is more than that of the 100% fuel on the 16. To put that in perspective, at 300 kilometers an hour, flying straight and level, the H-6 can fly for 8.5 hours. The H-16, flying at 300 kilometers an hour, straight and level, can fly for 6.7 hours. So all this means is you'll just have to adjust how much fuel you do take and just be aware of that difference initially. There are also some further changes, and we'll address them as we get to each station inside the aircraft. The first station we'll move on to is the pilot. You can immediately see the difference. The instrument panel up the top is no longer there and it's been dissected into two parts. The left hand side is on the left hand side of the aircraft, 1 o'clock of the pilot's position, and the right hand part of the instrument panel, or the engine management part of the instrument panel, is on the right hand side. Point to note with the left hand side is the speedometer, or the speedo is partly obscured from 0 to 200 kilometers an hour. On the right side, as you look at it from the pilot's position, the left-hand dials affect the number 1 or the left-hand engine. The right-hand dials affect the right or number 2 engine. Any dial that has both engines' readouts on them, the number 2 engine is marked by R for right. All other aspects of this aircraft regarding the pilot, the engines, engine management are all as per the previous model, as they are the exact same engines and the exact same controls. However, you have gained an increased ceiling height and climb rate. As opposed to the 4.5 meters per second at sea level was the climb rate, you now can enjoy a tremendous 5.3 meters per second at sea level. The dive speed is 560 kilometers per hour, no change. The ceiling height has been increased by 550 meters. You have a maximum ceiling height of 6,850 meters. Bomb sight, no change. Fuel load, the H-6 was carrying 4,285 liters at 100%. The H-16 is capable of carrying at 100% 3,450 liters for those who are curious. That completes the pilot. We'll now move on to the nose gunner bombardier position. As you can plainly see from the pilot position, this is a 20mm MG FF. You get 240 rounds, it's drum fed, and it has a rate of fire of 540 rounds per minute. Here's how long it takes to go through a complete drum and reload. There is no option to change this weapon system. That's the end of the nose gunner bombardier. Now we'll move on to the dorsal gunner, or the top gunner. Immediately you can see some changes to the canopy. He's completely enclosed now, and he has had an armament upgrade to one by MG131, a 13mm heavy machine gun with a cyclic rate of fire of 900 rounds per minute. It's belt fed from a continuous belt of 1,000 rounds in an ammo bin down to his left hand side. Point to note, the iron sights are offset to the right so you need to be aware of that when trying to avoid hitting your vertical stabilizer. There's been nothing said about the ammunition nature for the MG131. It would be safe to assume, but happy to be wrong, that it would simply be 4-bit, 4 ball rounds or 4 full metal jacket rounds to 1 trace. That's it for the dorsal. Now we'll move on to the belly gunner. There has been a downgrade and an upgrade. There is no longer a forward firing capability in the belly, it is rear firing only. Instead of one MG15 with a cyclic rate of 1000 rounds, you have 2 MG81s belt fed from a continuous belt of 850 rounds with a cyclic rate of fire 1600 rounds a minute, which only gives you about 30 seconds of burst time. Point to note is you can engage effectively between 7 and 5 o'clock level and high, somewhat high. That's the end of the belly gunner. Now we'll move on to the waist gunners. The waist gunner has had an upgrade also. He maintains his iron sights, unlike the belly gunner who got a reflective gun sight. He has upgraded from the MG15 to the MG81. He has had 50 extra rounds put into his ammo bin. His 81 is fed by a continuous belt, no more drums. So he has 500 rounds in a continuous belt, which gives him, at a rate of fire of about 1600 rounds a minute, less than 20 seconds of ammunition. He has poor visibility and poor arcs of fire, which again means that if you approach a Heinkel 111 from 2 or 10 o'clock low, not only can half the gunners not see you, but none of them can engage you. That completes all the stations on the Heinkel H-16 for the 5-man crew. You can see the ordnance presets or loadouts at the end of the video after we do a quick comparison of the FW190A-3 and the new edition, the A5. However, for any real detail, I highly suggest you check out Sheriff's FW190A-3 video, as it's very detailed and it's linked below. Here's a quick comparison of the tabulated data for the A3 on the left and the A5 on the right. You can pause each screenshot in order to compare for yourself. As displayed, they are essentially the same aircraft. They have the same engine and the same airframe. I believe the difference comes from the extra armor on the A5. It does not come standard with 4 20mm cannon, rather the same armament as the A3. Let's move on to a quick cockpit comparison. That completes the cockpit comparison. If you want to see it in flight, check out Groove Biscuit's video, linked below. We now go through the armament presets for the A5. As you can see, the first armament preset is the same as the A3. You get the option of wing-mounted MGFF 20mm cannon with only 180 rounds, no 120 round option. The next armament preset is extremely impressive. It is the option of 2 gun pods containing 2 MG151 20mm cannons each, bringing a total armament of 6 20mm cannon 151. The last upgrade is the addition of armor plate for ground strike. You cannot equip the armor plate and the cannon upgrades. And we've come to the end of the information. The rest of the video just contains the different paint jobs for aircraft and the different loadouts for the Heinkel H-16. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.